Hi everyone, how's it going? I am just popping on early because I know last time there was an issue with my mic, so I wanted to see if it was working okay, and if not, well, then I would have time to fix it. So, hope everyone's doing well. I'm just getting all my wonderful windows up. Let's see. Okay, then let me get my chat window up. So, how does the mic sound today? I know last time I streamed it sounded wonky, so let me know if there's any issues. Hi, Claire and Brooke and Emily and Beady Baby and Dawn. Oh, it's good this time? Okay, excellent. It's always frustrating when you go to live stream and your mic or camera or something decides, you know what, I'm not going to work today. So, yeah, let me take off my watch because this will get in the way. Today, we are going to check out these Kalour watercolor pencils. Now, these are the premium. I think I wrote on my description professional, but they have a professional set and a premium set, and I wish I could tell you the difference, but I've literally reached out to Kalour once a week for gosh, like last 4 weeks now, and they have not gotten back to me. So customer service is not so good. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out the differences. Other than the look, like I noticed their professional series has like a black barrel. Premium has a barrel kind of similar to Arteza, but heck, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to figure it out on my own if they don't answer me. But I was hoping they could kind of like just help me resolve that. Hi to everyone coming in. Okay, so yeah, today is the 72 Premium. I'll have to update my description because I said professional. The tin is actually really pretty. I like this artwork on here. It really draws you in. It's not the best made tin. It's actually really, like, mine must have got warped in shipping because like once you get the lid on, it'll break a nail popping it back off. But once you open it up, you have your trays of pencils. You know, with most budget brands, there are these flimsy little plastic things that drive us all bonkers, right? And then it came with a swatch card. And because today I am just doing I'll swatch them out and then we're going to color with them, I'm just going to use this chart. I'll move it over to a chart that I enjoy more later. So it looks like on the inside of the tin, we have all the rundown of colors. Let me see if I can zoom in just a teensy more. Hang on. So I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm so unprepared. Okay, so as you can see, it does have our colors. Just looking at the tin, it's kind of weird because they all look green, but this one's called like heather purple. So I don't know. Looks like there's just nothing but green right there. So we'll have to see what that's about. They do have their light fast ratings, but you guys know how I feel about light fast ratings on watercolor pencils, and especially on budget ones. So yeah, I just take that with a grain of salt. But the pencil themselves, these are actually kind of dirty, but that could be from shipping. Let me grab one that we can see like the writing on. Let's grab this one. All right, so they have a little flat tip sharpening here. Oh, I should have fixed that. Looks like we're a little blurry. But you know what? I actually like the flat tip because that just prevents breakage while it's in shipping. So to me, it's not a big deal. I know some people don't like it. Of course, you'll have to sharpen it to use it for swatching purposes. I'm not going to sit here and sharpen 72 pencils, but I'd recommend sharpening it off that blunt edge. But at least that prevents it from breaking. And then, come on, focus camera. Doesn't want to focus. It's one of those days. Well, we've got the name of the pencil, its light fast rating, and then their color code. And then on the other side, it says watercolor. They're a hexagon barrel, but they do have a color dipped end, which I appreciate. Hi, Amberly, and anyone else I missed. So let's see. I love the purple trays. Ooh, purple is so pretty. Wow, they do have actually a lot of greens. Let's see, how many do we got in here? So 3 trays. Okay, that not too shabby. I don't know if they're going to end up being in order on the swatch chart that they gave us. I guess we'll find that one out. But yeah, I kind of want to just dive in to swatch them and then color with them a little bit and kind of see what we think. The swatch card it came with is pretty nice because it's just all on one little sheet here. So the boxes are obviously smaller, but they're really not too bad. I mean, look at that compared to like my nail or something. It's not too shabby. So we'll see. And then, yes, as Nightbot has said, there will be one person will win a set of these in the stream, and then one person will win a set of these off stream for those who can't catch the stream, because I always feel bad for those who can't make it. So just keep that in mind. But what we're going to do is, let me get my water brush. The caps don't matter. You just make sure you do it as one word. That's all that matters. So today I'm going to use my new Kuretake Zig replacement. I replaced my Kuretake water brushes because they were all old and frayed and gross. But let's see if these end up being in a decent order. I need to get a little thing here to put under it. Make sure when you put down watercolor pencils, you put it as one word, like the instructions say. If it's not one word, it's not going to give you credit. Okay. Let's see how I need more desk space is what I need. But I have a bunch of projects like all off to the side here for my other projects. I have like a queue of videos and projects. So yeah, it needs to say watercolor pencils in one word. Nightbot is giving you the instructions, so just follow Nightbot's guidance. Let me fix this. So the in-stream giveaway, I usually do about halfway through. But yeah, I do that about midway through. So just keep in mind, you do have to be, it picks, then it'll just go to the next person. And then, of course, don't keep entering it because then it'll disqualify you for spamming. So I turn on my autofocus, but I know it's gonna, we'll turn it on for now. I hate autofocus. All right. So yeah, Amazon UK. I couldn't find these ones specifically. They had the professional, but not the premium set. I found that kind of weird. So I don't know. Like I said, I've been trying to reach out to Kalour and figure out what's going on, and they are not very helpful. So let's get swatching because I want to swatch and color today. Like I said, I'm not going to sharpen this blunt edge, but I will when I go to color with them. So I'm just going to start with white, which I know is so exciting, but I usually fill the box about halfway, and then I'll drag the color when I'm ready. I'm going to do like the top row, I think. Okay, so it looks like their chart goes in order downward. So the audio is cutting in and out now. Because at the start, I asked everyone if the audio was good. So let me know if it's cutting out and I'll switch to my other mic. This one's ginger yellow. It's really light yellow. Not really gingery though, but yeah, so let me know because I may have some blips in connection. We've had some major windstorms. So the audio is cutting out now. Okay, just give it a couple minutes, and then if it's still cutting out, I'll switch to my other mic. I just don't want to keep like going back and forth. There we go. Especially because it might just be everyone popping on in the internet, so we'll see. All right, lemon, yellow, light. These are actually quite soft. Now, these are supposed to be according to their packaging and Amazon's description. You can use these wet or dry, so we'll find out. When adjusting the camera, okay. It shouldn't pop out just for adjusting video, but who knows? All right, we've got flesh. So we'll see how this one works. Yeah, these are quite smooth. Again, I'll sharpen them when we actually color with them. Too lazy to do it now, and your ears probably would appreciate it. All right, cadmium orange light. One thing I was going to look at was, okay, so W009. I guess the W stands for watercolor. If I had to guess. Marigold. Very curious to see the color range here because it's 72 count. 72 should be more than enough pencils for any watercolor pencil set, but hey, never know. And then hi to everyone who came in that I missed. Cadmium yellow deep. It's kind of an odd way they do their swatch chart. Just me, for me, like I prefer to go that way, but the up down, whatever. It's just I always have to remember. So I'll end up moving these to my own swatch chart and putting them in an order I prefer, but might as well just use this free one. And it's actually not a bad chart. No, see, listen to that. It's actually really decent cardstock. It is not watercolor paper though. Not that I'm going to hold that against them. This is like a budget brand, so not expecting them to do that. Fleshlight. Although it would be nice if more brands would just include a swatch chart with it in watercolor paper. Oh, thanks, Care Bear. That's a cute one. I like that one. Thank you very much. Flesh Deep. This one is going to be orangey, orangey. Okay, then we have an Upper Rose. Traditionally, Upper Rose is like a really bright, kind of like hot pinkish thing going on. I don't know if that's going to be that color. We'll find out though. But yeah, I wanted to try these out. They'll be in the watercolor pencil battle. Probably have a review this week. Now that I'm finally back on track. But yeah, things have just been busy. Like I've been trying to just, I don't know, find a way to balance my Etsy store stuff and then just life because it's summer. Kids are home. My son has been doing his soccer tournaments, which we do every summer, but every other week we are, yeah, just at a soccer field all the time. It really does like wear you out. And then the next week you're just like trying to recover. But I have 2 boarding dogs that I've had since Friday. So it's just been crazy. Cadmium orange deep. I did, however, do the final pour on one of my handmade watercolors. Hang on, let me see if I can grab it. Come here. Look at that cute little pink color. It's called Cotton Candy. I'm waiting for them to set up. Get it on my finger. But yeah, I did a final pour of that one this morning. So I was like trying to get that mixed and cleaned up before my live stream. But hopefully I can get those out this week. I had meant to release them last week. And I had a few setbacks with my mixture that I'm using to bind my watercolors. So I had to change up my recipe a little based on the temperatures out here. So yeah, small setback. But the cotton candy one is just cute. It's finally the only, like I finally got one to pour. I mean, it takes about 3 times to fill the pan, but first one where it's been like, oh, finally, we're on track. I don't know if these were on sale recently. You know, I've been really bad about keeping up with sales on Amazon. I'm not gonna lie to you. So they might have been, but I mean, even right now, they're still under 20 bucks for 72 watercolor pencils. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm very curious about these. I don't like the Castle Art ones. Okay, switch trays. And you know, most of the budget ones never seem to impress me. So I am going to be curious how these work out. Vermilion. And then I'm hoping once I do all the tests and then the battles, I can just do a de-stash of these, because obviously I don't need these 30 plus sets I have. So let's see, cobalt light turquoise. Interesting. Okay. I'm still always double checking, even though they seem to be in order. I definitely don't want to foobar that. These are nice to hold in the hand, though. They're kind of chunky in a good way. And they have that nice, I like the hexagon barrel. And the lead, I'm going to have to look up and see what the lead is. It looks thicker right now just because of the way they've sharpened it. But yeah, they're nice. They feel nice in the hand. Check out our turquoise. But all of these so far have been really smooth going down dry. And most of the time, the budgety ones are awful when you lay them down dry. This one's off center. So yeah, most of these have been kind of nice and smooth. So that's always a good sign. And the pigment lay down isn't too bad. Ultramarine. Let's see. All right. Nice thing about swatching watercolor pencils is you can keep them kind of sloppy. Just activate them and it'll all go away. Now we have a Prussian. Prussian blue, yep. This one I might need to sharpen. It's a little wonky. Sometimes that manufacturer sharp. But I was too lazy to sit here and sharpen 72 pounds with them after we swatch, and then we can just, hi y'all coming in. Oh, Melissa, I haven't seen you in a wee bit. Indigo light. Huh. Let's see. Did I have an indigo? I don't see an indigo, but I have an indigo light. Now, I know they have a 120 set. I'll have to see if that's the same, if they're the premium or the professional. This one is purple. It's funny on the tray. Like I said, it looked like they were all green on that tray. This is why you have to swatch them yourself. You can't go off the tray. Because otherwise, Heather purple would have been a dark green. Oh, one sec. Yeah, so there are two different sets. There's a 72 count that is the professional, and then there's a 72 count that is the premium. And whatchamacallit, I've reached out to them multiple times to ask, like, can you specify exactly what the difference is? And they haven't gotten back to me. There is a difference. I'm just gonna have to compare them myself. I do have the other kind in my pile somewhere over there. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating though, because even when I look at the information on Amazon, it's like not helpful. But this is the one that's labeled premium, not professional. But I mean, so is premium better or is professional better? I don't know. These are like $19 right now. So I don't know if I haven't looked lately at what the 72 professional are. And then they also have them in a case set, but those will be like the same. They'll either be this set or the other set. You can tell by the barrels. Prussian green. And then, like I said, there is a 120 set as well. But because I'm buying these simply for testing and comparison, I'm not going crazy here. Oh, this one's going to need to be sharpened. Okay, I'm going to have to fix this just a wee bit and make it tighter. All right, so this is greenish hue. It's a nice minty green. Oh, got some breakage. They do not like sharp points. Okay. Juniper green. But yeah, I'll swatch them out dry and then we'll activate them. And then I have a little Teresa Goodrich page I kind of want to play around with because that's what I've been in the mood for. Oh, $1 less, so that doesn't help either. So, okay, the black barreled ones are the professional. So premium must be a step up for a whopping $1 more. I don't know. Like I said, I keep reaching out to them and they're blowing me off. And I was like, okay, I'm like literally about to review these. Like, so just know that my review is also going to say bad customer service because, yeah, it really is. Like, they don't respond at all. I don't even get a generic, hi, we've received your request, anything. I've tried customer service. I've tried sales, affiliate relations, everything. They don't respond. So, Kalour, if you're watching this video, how about you do that? It's kind of annoying. I even reached out to them through Amazon as like a last resort because I was like, well, I'll just contact the merchant through Amazon, right? They still didn't respond there either, so that's kind of concerning. It's like they just toss them out there and say bye. But I mean, these are budgety pencils, probably made in the same manufacturer as quite a few others. That's why they all look alike. But still, a little customer service wouldn't, be too bad. Yeah, so what you have to do is look at the actual tin. The tin will say professional or premium. Like the tin of the ones I'm working on today says premium. And you'll notice, I think the other one has like a turtle or something on it. I can't remember. It's in the pile back behind me. But that one will say professional. It's, yeah, they don't make it easy to decipher what the heck's going on. Violet Lake Light. Yeah, maybe they don't know. They just hired the same manufacturer and belted out pencils, and they're like, oh, we don't know how to answer this. Let's see. Yep, I can only be honest about them. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I just hate it when companies like get dinged for something that's so easy to fix. Like literally just respond to my email. I even messaged them on Instagram. But these are smooth. I do like how smooth these are while dry. That's a good sign. I bought both of mine on Amazon, but that's just because it was easier, and that's usually where I buy these budgety style ones because, like, say they come and I have issues, I can just send them back. So I bought them both on Amazon. But like I said, I've reached out to the company directly. I've reached out to them through Amazon. Yeah, nada. I've given up. And there may not be a big difference. I haven't played with the other ones that I have in the tin, but I will be this week. It's going to be like Kalour week. So I guess we'll find out soon enough if I can tell if there's any difference to me. Of course, we all experience and use pencils so differently. So that's another thing to keep in mind, wait a minute. Looks like they finally went out of order. Okay, so we have a violet deep, and then I need a purple lake, and I am missing purple lake. Okay, there we go. Ha! This is why you always double check, because this one was out of order. Almost put my cinnamon there. Squeeze those over. Okay, and then now we should be back on track with cinnamon. Oh, they came already. Gosh, when did I ship those? This week has been crazy with orders, but that's because on the first of the month, I always release my diamond painting accessory box and then the limited edition scent. So, yeah, the first week of every month is a little crazy. The box is sold out in 3 days. So we're doing 25 boxes for September. I'm going to bump it to either 30 or 40 in October if it keeps being a popular thing. Let's see, coffee deep. But yeah, I'm glad they got there. I feel like I've been going to the post office every day this week. Just dropping off shipments. They like literally know me by name now. I'm not even kidding. That's not really a sepia color. Yeah, so I got these stickers because my mail lady is horrible. She just shoves everything into the mailbox. So I got these stickers that said "Don't shove," and I like plaster them all over my packages. I don't know. They probably don't even read them, but they're neon pink. You can't miss them. But I make it clear, please don't shove this in there. But that's only because my mail lady would totally shove it in there and you would have to like X-Acto knife and cut it out. So, force gray. May the force be with you. It's actually not too bad of a gray. It's still a cool gray. Let's see. Oh, again, I swapped their colors. I got a Payne's Gray. Really not a Payne's Gray if we're talking from a watercolor standpoint, because once they like ink tints and explode with color, I have a feeling that's just going to lighten up, and Payne's Gray is not that light. We have a cool gray. All right. Oh, the coloring books. Oh, I'm glad. I am working with the third winner on the D-Stash. Book D-Stashes take a while. And the biggest thing is like with the book D-Stash, I have to reach out to the first winner. They get the first pick, and we have a little bit of back and forth, so it takes a bit. So yeah, I'm working with the third one now, but I think there will be a fourth winner. So I will announce that once I finish up with the third place winner and get her box packed. Let's see, ginger yellow. So if the voice just cut out right now, it's because my Wi-Fi had a dip. Like my StreamYard just told me Wi-Fi dipped. So that's why, FYI. Yes, I do ship to the UK, Claire. If you go on my site, you just I have the international shipping option. In fact, I have 2 orders going to Australia this week. So that was kind of cool. I'm shipping to the opposite end of the world. Okay, these dissolve like crap. It could just be this paper though. That's why we're going to color with them too. I'm going to get a little more water on them and see if they'll drag a little more. The drag is not groovy, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys get the occasional like in and out, it might just be because we have a major windstorm out here right now. And every now and then StreamYard pops up a little thing in the corner saying, hey, your Wi-Fi is a little bit slow right now. I wish I could hardwire, but the new laptop I bought doesn't have a hardwire. Do I ship to New Zealand? I believe it does, but let me double check. It should though. I mean, I have international on there, but there are the certain countries that Etsy personally, omits, but I don't think New Zealand is one of them. I'll have to double check on that. But I do have the international shipping option. Yellow ochre. Okay, so they're dissolving good on this paper. Again, it could be this paper. They just don't drag very well. But this is just like a thick cardstock, so it could totally just be the paper. And it's smooth, so there's no grooves for the pigment to stick to. That's why we're going to color with them as well. I wish they dragged a little further though. That would be a lot more fun. And the only reason I like to see the drag is because sometimes I like to use just one color and create a gradient. But when you can see like a defined line right there, it makes it hard. But yeah, as for other countries, I don't think I've shipped to New Zealand yet. But just check and see if Etsy allows it. I do have the international on there though. So I know I've shipped to Japan. I have shipped to a few to Australia. I've done 2 to the UK. So yeah, I've only recently started getting international ones. That was a whole new adventure, learning about tariff numbers. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so confusing. Yeah, they do actually have a good range of yellows, and then they actually have a good range of flesh tones too, light flesh tones. I have a feeling some of these darker ones on the opposite end of the card will be good for darker skin tones as well. We'll see. The red is dissolving quite well, which is usually a good sign. Yeah, with the Inktense, I use like Willow, really lighten down for skin. It's kind of like my makeshift skin tone. I add white to a few of theirs on a palette and kind of use that. But yes, I agree. It would be nice if they would have some skin tone. But I just don't think Inktense had ever planned on being used for portraits. So they had other plans in mind. Let's see how this red dissolves. So that one's dissolving all right. The blues will be the real test because often it is the blues that do not. Yeah, I mean, you can always water down an Inktense on a palette, lighten it up with a white if you want. Just be a little cautious with that Chinese white, otherwise you're going to get milky. But yeah, you can mix them on a palette and create a new color. You don't actually have to worry too much about having even the whole set of 72 pencils. A lot of the colors you can make yourself, but if you're making commissioned artwork and the light fast rating matters, you need to keep that in mind when you start mixing stuff. Like, what's the light fast rating of that color that you just mixed and all that goodie? Because that will affect it. Their blues actually dissolve quite well. Not bad. Hi, Dee. Justy. Yeah, so the blues are dissolving. That's good because usually those are the ones that'll leave lines behind. Oh my gosh, what brand was it the other day I was playing around with to do a review? And I was just like, none of these are dissolving. It was horrid. Incredibly frustrating. Ooh, this one doesn't want to. Right as I say it, this one decides it's not going to dissolve. Am I liking these pencils so far? Is that what you mean? Or watercolor in general? Because watercolor in general, I always have enjoyed, but these pencils, this is literally the first time I've used these ones. I am swatching them with you. Oh, that color turned out quite nice. Yep, with the bird on it. So 72 count premium with a bird on it. Because these are the 72 premium with a bottle, ship in a bottle. And then they also have a 72 count professional, which I swear is a turtle. I don't know. It's hard to say if I like these so far. I mean, I'm just swatching them, and there's only so much you can tell from a swatch. That's why we're going to color with them once I finish swatching them, because actually using them will give me a much better idea of what these can do. And of course, I'm taking into account this cardstock, which is up here, I noticed starting to pill if I add a little too much water. So this cardstock is definitely not made for water, which makes it kind of dumb to put as your swatch chart in a watercolor pencil box. But hey, what do I know? That one doesn't want to. Trying to get. If I try to like blend out the line, that's when it starts to pill. So we'll see how it does on my other paper. I'm going to use a Teresa Goodridge one, and I use watercolor pencils in her books all the time. I shouldn't say her books. Creative Haven makes them, but whatever. No, so dry, these weren't really like, scratchy at all. I had to sharpen a couple But that was just because the blunt edge on them was like all crooked and wacky. So I didn't want to get a weird little swatch or scratch my paper, and then that would affect how it would dissolve. That color didn't dissolve very well. No, you do give them a little squeeze, but, like, you don't sit there and, like, squeeze them till they're oozing water, but also every brand of watercolor brush or water brush is a little bit different in its operation. Some have the push button, some have the squeeze, like this one here, but I just test it on my hand to see how wet it feels. Like, you don't want it sopping wet, but you want it wet enough to dissolve. Of course, if you do want it sopping wet, like, by all means, go for it. Lines, that sap grain is quite pretty, but it's all right. All right, let's see. Ooh, not too bad. I do notice there's quite a few purples in here, although I'm curious because these ones are kind of close to one another. But yeah, it's nice they included a few purples considering this is a 72 count set. And usually 72 count sets, you always suffer somewhere, especially because we're all spoiled with those 120, 150, or 500 count sets. So we get a little spoiled after a while. Then we're like, oh, there's not enough of this. I mean, definitely you only get 4 grays here, but really you don't need a ton of grays. Only reason I like the purples in there is because you could mix and make purples on a palette, but when I use watercolor pencils, I like to throw mine just straight to the paper. That's how I use mine, so that's kind of how I judge them, because if I'm going to sit there and mess with putting them on a palette, I might as well just break out my real watercolors and paint with those. So I want to see how they perform on the paper. That's not too bad. It's a very small selection of browns, but it's actually a good curated set. They've got cool browns, warm browns. So that's nice. I like it. Got our earthy and reddish undertones. So they did the browns right. The greens, I don't know. I feel like are a little wacky, but let's see. We got our light gray here. Force gray. I'm just going to call this Star Wars gray now. Star Wars. Color for a few hours without discomfort. I mean, well, we're all different, right? Like in the beginning, when I was first starting to color, my wrists were really taking a beating. I had to build up some wrist strength. Like, so at first, your hand will cramp and your wrist will get tired. Depending on where you're sitting, of course, your back and all that. But I got used to it after a while. But let me zoom out. Come on, mouse, come back to me. Where is my mouse? Oh, there we go. But yeah, I mean, like I am naughty. I sit and color in bed, which is like the worst for your back, but it is what it is. Okay, so here are the colors. Yeah, and then of course the pressure. I'm a heavy-handed colorist though, and it just took a little while for my body to adjust, but once it did, I was fine. Okay, so here we have our colors all swatched out. From far away, they actually look really pretty. So yeah, they do have actually a pretty decent array of yellows. These two are a little kind of close, but whatever. We've got some good olive yellows, yellow ochre, light flesh tones. When it comes to something I can use for darker flesh tones, though, not as much. Oranges, actually not too bad, really. A lot of cadmium in this set, by the way, or at least they've named it cadmium. Who knows if they're actually using the cadmium pigments, but just FYI. Pinks. We actually have a pretty decent selection of pinks. They're just all very close to one another, so not so sure. You have the 120 set. Do you have the 120 professional or 120 premium? Just curious. Blue wise, though, we have a pretty good selection of blues. I would have liked a darker one, but maybe the 120 set is where the darker indigo is. We do have a good selection of greens, warm and cool greens. I do kind of feel like it's actually too much green. And the Kalour green deep and Kalour green on my swatch chart are really close to one another. So we'll see when I color with them if they are a little different. Let's see. Purple wise, though, like I said, not bad. I think it's kind of funny. This Heather purple is like chilling over here. We need to swap her over here. Yes, I said she. But yeah, the purples aren't too bad. I'm liking these colors. I like this aubergine color, really. It's pretty. And then the brown selection is great considering this is a 72 count set. So with it being so heavy on the greens and pinks and purples, it makes it perfect for florals. That's for sure. So let me grab my book. So I'm probably gonna, not probably, because this is the book that's next to me, I am going to be coloring in Country Gardens. This is a Teresa Goodridge one, Creative Haven. Now this is an older one, so the pages or the paper is smoother. Looking at this, what do I want to color? I did not pre-pick a page because I wanted to swatch them and decide which one I wanted to use. Let's see. Yeah, the garden might be a good one because lots of opportunity for green. Let me see what else we got in here. Just want to make sure. I've been doing a lot of watercolor pencils in these ones. Ooh, this would be fun for wood green. Is there wood green that I could do on this one? Yeah, we can on the barrel. Okay, let's see. Oh, this one would be fun too, though. But not as much. Florals. Semi-talking to you, semi-talking to myself as I decide which page I'm going to do. I think... Oops, not that one. Let's see. Switching from Crayola to Black Widows. Are you talking about the Kalour, just regular colored pencils, like the ones I got in that 300 monstrosity set? Those are a lot softer than even the Black Widow to me. But I would pick Black Widow over the Kalour. Just, yeah. The Kalour have a lot of filler. I mean, these are really budgety. So, but yeah, so I think I'm between these two because these have a good array of colors that we could use. I think we're going to go for the garden because this will let me do more. So let's see. Make sure all my water brushes. So I'm using 2 of the Kuretake ones and then 1 Pentel. And then, like I said, what I'll do is I'll sharpen the ones I'm actually going to use. So let's start with some stonework real quick. So I'll zoom you guys back in. Oh, the chair. I did that, what, last month? Yeah, I just put it in my completed pages. I have quite a few in here with the watercolor pencils. Okay, so let's get some grays out. I think I'm going to stick to what they call a Payne's gray, but I disagree. So Payne's gray, light gray, and then I need a nice little green. I think I'm going to grab, let's do this olive green. Where are you? Okay, get that going. And see how these do on actual paper. Give them a nice little sharpen. Interesting. This one already started to crack from sharpening. But again, $20 pencils, so can't be picky. Now, if an Albrecht Dürer did that, I'd get a little angry. All right. The chair, this the chair page, this one is your guys' favorite. Because we can vote. We can vote between the garden and the chair. The only reason I went for the garden is because it had opportunity to use more gray. Though I can still use it in the bucket. Let's see. So it looks like 3 of you like the chair one, which is, I will use these grays on the pail. So see, flexibility. Okay. Oh yeah, and I was confused because I do have a finished one with a chair. That's what I thought you guys were talking about first, is this one. I was like, yeah, finish that one. But we can do this one too. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to start with the pail. I think we'll go with the chair since most people have said chair. It's not a big deal. Maybe I'll do the garden one as a color along later, either with this brand or a different one. But since I already got grays out, the pail is going to be gray. So this is just that Payne's gray. Yeah, these are nice and soft, actually. Quite soft. Smooth, actually. That's the better word. They're smooth. I don't think I plugged in my handy dandy dryer. It's all right. Looks like it goes up here. And we'll just get this going. So I'm just going to kind of like put down a layer. We'll activate it, see how they look. And I mean, I have this Albrecht Dürer page on the other side, so we can kind of flip back and kind of show comparisons, you know. Because with the Albrecht Dürer, I didn't go over them a ton once dry, and I didn't do second coats because I don't have the patience for that. So if the pigment payout on these can hold up close enough, that would be awesome. See, I'm just not a fan of going over things twice. I'm like, I've already colored you once. We're done. Especially with watercolor pencils. And I'm not pressing heavy because I don't want to scratch the pigment into the paper. Like once you scratch it in, you can't really judge it if it doesn't dissolve right. Okay. We'll see how these do. Nothing more exciting than watching me color a pail. Yeah, these are really smooth. so far. It'll be interesting when I pull out like a blue or something that is more traditionally scratchy, even in regular pencils. I'm gonna add my olivey green just here and there. Why? I don't know. I like to add green to a pail. Makes it look like it's been in the garden for a bit. So has anyone been watching The Witcher now that all the episodes are out? I started to, and then I lost my gusto. I think it's because I know Henry won't be there, so I was like, never mind. What's the point? Just go back over this with some gray. Okay, I am leaving some white spaces too, where I'll drag the color. I add a little bit more of the green here. Okay, I think we'll stick with my small Kuretake for now. Yeah, he's more than gorgeous. More than gorgeous. Okay, we'll see how these dissolve on this paper compared to how they dissolved on the swatch paper that came with it. Most of them dissolved okay, they just didn't drag. And so here I've left some white space to drag into, so I'm kind of curious. So with these ones and this Creative Haven book, I just make sure my brush is damp enough to activate the pencil, but not watery, because I mean, this is not thick paper at all. Like, it's quite thin. And I don't want it to just crumple and get all icky. But this paper can take a surprising amount of water compared to some other, even like, Johanna Basford books, which is weird because it's such a thin paper. But yeah, there's been times I've accidentally done too much water or gone over it and it didn't pill on me, whereas like I'd have a Johanna Basford one just start going downhill by layer 2. But regardless, I try not to put a ton of water on this one. So I'm just kind of like gently blending my olive green that I put in there into the grays. It's like I activate it and then drag it into the grays. And then I'll touch it up once it dries, if I need to. Is Henry premium or professional? I don't know on that one. Because Kalour is not very clear on what premium versus professional is. So if premium's the best, then I guess we'll say premium. Did I get that spot? Okay. All right. I know I don't have any mods today. And in all fairness, I didn't warn them that I was streaming today. Oh, Shannon's lurking. But yeah, I didn't warn them that I was streaming today. And then to top it off, I haven't streamed in quite a few Sundays. So it's just been one of those, yeah, with everything being so crazy. But so I didn't even message any of them and be like, by the way, I'm back. So it's no big deal. But thanks, Shannon. You're lurking. Oh, gotta stay on camera. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I did a Sunday stream. The last one I did was a Tuesday, and even before that, I hadn't done as many. It's just been so busy. So I definitely want to go over this with a little more gray after, just a little bit of my Payne's gray. So I'm going to leave that out so I don't forget. Okay, I think I'll tackle the chair. Do I want to do a traditional color? I do, because I want to use some of these browns. Let's try this coffee deep. If coffee deep was an actual coffee flavor, what would it be? Obviously a dark roast, right? It just sounds like it would be. I don't know if I like that walnut. Let's try terracotta. Terracotta, maybe. I'm gonna need something else in there. I'm gonna try the Van Dyke brown. It doesn't look very dark, but it might on paper. And then maybe a touch of the walnut. Okay, yeah. 4 colors. Ooh, actually, I could, instead of terracotta, I'm gonna do cinnamon and then pull my yellow ochre wherever it went off to. Okay. Where is that one? Yeah, that's lemon. Yellow ochre, yellow ochre. It's gotta be this one, I think. Or not. Oh, okay. So I got like 5 colors, but wouldn't be me without it. No, soccer tournaments are not over. Our last tournament starts this Wednesday and goes all the way through Saturday. And then I will be free of soccer tournaments until January. But it doesn't matter because my youngest got bumped up in gymnastics. She's been like itching to bump up. So now she goes more days a week. And then, let's see, she also goes longer. And then my other one, so we got that. And then my son's soccer season starts this fall. We can make a whole whopping, I don't know, week off. Back to school on the 23rd of August, so we still have a little ways. I am definitely taking my time on that. Like, we did go buy shoes. Ugh, shoes. My son only will wear Hey Dudes or Nikes. Apparently that's just a rule now with teenage fashion. But I was like, oh my gosh, these Hey Dudes are ridiculously expensive. What is up here? I bought myself a pair, in all honesty, just to see what all the hype was about. And gosh darn it, they are comfortable, but still, that price tag is ridiculous. Yeah, that should be a good combo. We'll just make this a wee bit darker. 15th and tomorrow. Interesting. I mean, every state, is different. And then, of course, even here in Utah, we have some school districts on a totally different schedule because some schools do the year-round model here, which I don't understand. And then others do this kind of because their schools, if they get too full, they go on like this split wacky schedule. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but I mean, when I was in California growing up, ours was definitely, we started in September, but I want to say we got out in June, whereas my kids out here get out before Memorial Day. So yeah, it just kind of depends. And then I've noticed like some schools out here have longer fall breaks or shorter fall breaks. So yeah, so many little factors up in there. But it is always interesting, like, to see, like, so for those of you kids are already back in school. Um, when do they get out usually, end of the school year? Like, are they before Memorial Day or after? And then also, like, I guess holiday breaks. Yeah, there's so many different ways it can roll. And then when you get to different countries, like, it's totally different there too. So, yeah. Boots. I am going crazy with all that running around. That's why I'm half alive today. Well, that and I have 2 dogs I'm boarding. I've decided, uh, because I'm running my Etsy store and YouTube, having more than 1 boarding dog is just too much. So we're probably gonna only allow 1 at a time and, see how that works out because, yeah, it's just been I haven't been able to post content for my channels, and it's actually been bumming me out, like, because I enjoy making videos. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been quite a lack of them. So, I was like, "Ah, can't get anything done." Let's see. Wow, that is long. Ooh, excuse me. Do you guys get a longer spring break though? I'm curious. Like out here, our spring break isn't a whole week. Same thing with like our fall break. So that's why I always ask because sometimes like they make up for it in their breaks. And then I know some states have, oh crap, what is it? It's like a special break in the middle of school year for something different. It's not spring or fall, it's something else. I can't remember now. It's working all right for wood grain. Okay, how long do I have a border? Well, one's going home today, so then I'll be back down to 1. One of the ones we're boarding though is a Siberian Husky, and as an owner of Huskies, I know how much energy they have. Oh, so tiring. And then that one's actually staying till Tuesday, so have that one a little longer. But we have like a mini sheepadoodle as well, but he's a puppy. He's 4.5 months old. And he goes home today, this afternoon. And but yeah, the other husky we have is hilarious. She's one of those brown and white huskies. Absolutely gorgeous. Been quite a hoot to watch her play with mine. She's vocal sometimes, but she's still trying to get used to it. Whereas, like my one husky, Harper, has just decided she's now going to be vocal all the time. So my backyard sounds like just a bunch of crazy dogs. Let's see. Oh, well, I'm glad you were able to make it. Yeah, I know in the UK it's hard for you guys. I tried to pick it's 10 a.m. for me when I start, but I tried to pick one where like people in the UK could join without it like completely getting in the way of dinner. Because one of my mods is in the UK, Emma. So I'm always like, oh, sorry. But and then also I can't go too late on Sundays for myself just because I have so much going on. But yeah, I tried to find a balance as best I can. I mean, it never works out because, like, obviously, viewers in Australia and stuff like that can't catch me unless they're just happen to be staying up super late. So, or getting up super early. I don't know. I get it confused. One of the two. But that is why with today's giveaway, I am doing one will be off stream for those who can't make it. Because I just always feel bad for those ones. these are making a nice wood grain. These do water down quite a bit, but let's see. When do huskies start gaining weight? What do you mean gaining weight? I mean, they gain weight as they grow, but like, is your husky abnormally skinny? Because if so, you need to get them eating more. Huskies have a natural wacky metabolism thing. Like literally, they eat less calories and yet expend more energy than other breeds. However, like female huskies should be anywhere from 35 to 45 pounds. Now, Scout, my one husky, is 65 pounds because she's abnormal. She's just huge. But I would just ask your vet and see if they think your dog's at an unhealthy weight. It's really hard to say what weight without actually meeting the dog and seeing him in person. But like my one husky is really skinny, but it's also her fur. Her fur in the summer, she just gets really light. Whereas my other huskies keep extra fur on in the summer. But in the winter, she poofs up and looks like she's totally healthy. So keep that in mind as well. Oh, hi, Thomas. Sorry. Always remember, guys, I try my best to say hi, but there's only so much I can do. Like, I'm looking down and coloring, and when I look up, chat moves. So if I miss it, please don't ever take offense. I just do my best. Like, if I sat and read chat, then I wouldn't color. So it's like, A husky German Shepherd should actually weigh more than a traditional husky and be bigger. So, unless the parents were more husky than German Shepherd, mixes are hard to say. I'm sorry, but it gets wonky when the gene pool is mixed up. So. Like my 3 huskies are all purebreds, so like I can say for how much they should weigh. Yes, thanks, Shannon. I try my best, but I just can't catch everything, guys. And it's not me being rude by any means. Like if you have a legitimate question, and legitimate, if you have a question and I don't answer it right away, pop it in and just put it in caps because I'll usually try and catch those. But even then, I might miss it, and just wait a few and put it in again. Then I'll try my best. I like peek up at chat, like see I'm coloring right now. So I use water to activate and not Vaseline. I totally missed that one. Say what now? Oh, okay. I have to look up now because I'm curious. No, I don't use Vaseline to apply the colored pencil. I just apply it and then I activate it with water. I do activate these kind, like watercolor pencils, I'll activate with, oh man, now I gotta stretch. I do sometimes use a Tombow water-based pen if I want, but yeah, I stick with the water. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not like I've seen people using the Vaseline and stuff. I'm not I haven't joined that one. Sorry. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm stubborn. Get between these little leaves here. But yeah, like with water, so like watercolor pencils, I'll use the Tombow colorless blender or water. I don't use the alcohol ones on these. I use the alcohol ones on my ink tints. So that I am doing a page out of Country Gardens, which is a Creative Haven book, but the artist is Teresa Goodridge. Let's see. How does the Tombow work? So the Tombow really, there's a few differences. First of all, you have to be careful about going back and forth because the colorless blender will suck up the pigment and leave you kind of more with a flat color. But it is nice if you don't really want your colors watered down like they would be with water, or if you're brand new to like water soluble mediums. I would recommend trying the Tombow because then you don't have to sit there and fuss with water control, which is a big problem people have usually when they first try water soluble mediums. So that way you can get a feel for how the pencil works and not sit and fuss over like the water brush putting out too much water or not enough water and stuff like that. So it's a good thing for beginners. Like I'll activate a little portion of this with a Tombow just to show you, but I'm used to using the Tombow, so I use it lightly and I don't suck up the pigment. But the other thing is you have to really clean off the brush. So like after I were to activate this, I'd need to like clean it off on a piece of paper because otherwise whatever color is left on your nib is going to be joining whatever you go to next because they do stain. Let's see. Yeah, the Tombow isn't too bad. I recommend it if you're new to it. If you're using Inktense, go with the alcohol blender first instead of a Tombow, because the Tombow takes a little bit more of a learning curve. Oh, let me put these off to the side. So I'll grab my Tombow just to show you, and I'll activate like this little section here, but I'm basically just going over it. And what you'll notice is the lines will stay more, so you'll have more definition. But like that's as much as I can go over it because if I go back and forth, it's gonna suck up all the pigment. So yeah, just depends. I like the water brush, but if you use too much water, especially with like these cheaper pencils that don't have a lot of pigment, you might not get the color payout. But the water brush also gives you the watercolor look, whereas the Tombow preserves your lines more. So yeah. Using a colorless blender with watercolor pencils and just keeping them dry, you mean? Or are you talking about my colorless blender Tombow? Let's see. I'm just kind of haphazardly making this wood grain. So these definitely don't have as much of a payout as like say Albrecht Dürer, but again, these are like $20. So not expecting that. And of course they're not going to be as vibrant as like say Museum Aquarelles, but those are just like a whole different type of beast. Yeah, the Derwent water brushes, I have one of them and I like it actually. I tend to reach for the Kuretake Pentel and Tombow water brushes because there are Tombow water brushes out there as well, and they're pretty affordable. Those tend to be what I go for the most. I used to also use the Prima ones, but those have been harder to get my hands on. But the Tombow ones are nice. They come in a good variety and they're pretty affordable, at least last time I checked. And I have noticed the Tombow ones don't fray out as quickly as the Kuretake. Something I've just noticed, and I use my water brushes quite frequently, so they do get take a beating. Yeah, so far these colors are really nice while dry. very smooth on this ultra smooth paper. So if they were scratchy, I would know. No, I did not get these in the case. I just got them in the tin. And I'm not going to lie, part of me bought it just for the tin because it was really pretty to look at. I'm a sucker for pretty artwork on tins. Packaging does matter. Note to that. They won me with the packaging. Okay. Yeah, these aren't too bad. In fact, I find these more pleasant to use dry than the actual Kalours, because the actual Kalours just have so much filler in them. Again, budget pencil though, that's expected. But like with these, you don't feel that nasty buildup of filler. So these are kind of pleasant to use while dry. I might even try going over my pale up here and do a little shading and see how it looks. But yeah, there's quite a few watercolor pencils out there that are pleasant to use dry or wet. And then there's some that you're like, ugh. Yeah, the Kuretake ones fray really quickly. Like this is my old green one, which is the medium. But I mean that it's already frayed out, and I probably replace them like once a year. My Pentel, I only had to replace because I lost 2 of them. But I've had those for 2 years. And then the Tombow, I can't remember when I bought the Tombow. Real quick while this is dry, I just kind of go over my pale a little bit. I'm just taking my Payne's Gray. I'm going to use it just to add a little bit of shadow. So they go over the activated pencils pretty nicely as well. It's going to be scratchy, like I can feel it scratch a little, but that's not the pencil, that's the paper now, because you have a coating of this on here. But yeah, these are still quite smooth to put down. So actually that's pretty nice, because that's what I do with Albrecht Dürer a lot. Like if I feel like I need a little more shadow, just go back over it once it's dry. These aren't too shabby at all. And they don't leave a chalky finish, so that's good, because some watercolor pencils leave a really nasty chalky finish on your page. Okay. Let's see, let's go back to wood grain. Actually, I need to go up here so I can stay out of the way. At times I wonder if I really love adult coloring as much as I think I do, or I'm obsessed with buying all this supply. Why not? It can be both. Let me make sure this is okay. Like I said, they're nice to put down dry, and the color's not too shabby. I'm using a slightly different color combo than I did for the chair on the page before, but that's because I had 120 colors in that set, and this is just 72, and there's only so many browns in here, but still the colors are working out quite nice, and they're allowing me to make a nice little wood grain pattern. I had a lot of fuss, so that's good. I don't know what it is about wood grain, but I actually find it incredibly relaxing to create. Don't ask me why. think it's because you can just kind of like mix colors and put them wherever you think looks good, and it works out every time. It's like, you know what? I'm going to put yellow ochre here. And what do you know? It's fine. Okay. Let's see. This one's not too bad either. And I'm not putting down a heavy layer of these. I'll have to try a spot where I can and see how they look. I just like to go lighter and see how they end up activating. But whenever I do a wood grain, I activate and just pull all the way down. I don't go back and forth, because if you go back and forth, you're going to mix all your colors together, and then you're not going to get that wood grain effect. So I just activate in one direction. Color all your wood grain pages. You got to do it. It's relaxing. Just give it a go. Okay. I think on the one on the previous page, I actually put black in it. Maybe not. I know one of the wood grains I did recently, I added a bunch of black. Although I've noticed a lot of the wood grain I did last month was blue. I was in a kick, like I had blue barns, blue sheds. Don't know what was going on. Just felt like using blue. I mean, who says your barn can't be blue? Okay. Gonna leave a little bit more white space on some of these, I think, too. Oh, you mean the Best of Pop Manga from Camilla? Swear I did a flip through. Yeah, I posted a flip through that the other day. I filmed a whole bunch of flip throughs like one day. Just sat down and did a whole bunch. But then I'm like, when did I schedule those? I do have another book I need to do a flip through of, which is right here. Ugh. I got the new one. It actually came last week. I just haven't had time to flip through it. Are we going to have another session with the Kalour colored pencils? You mean the regular ones or the watercolor ones? I'm not going to guarantee times on anything, just because life is so crazy. It's a lot harder than it sounds to run a YouTube channel. I wish I could like meet every request immediately, but yeah, it's a lot of work, and just honestly, it depends on how I'm feeling that day, because there's some days I don't want to break out a pencil that I don't really know, or I just want to color with my Prismas or not at all. Entire schedule. I know, that's why like you'll notice my banner doesn't say frequent uploads on these days, because I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But the only thing that has ever been consistent is streaming on Sunday at 10 a.m. However, the last couple weeks, just because of soccer tournament chaos, I was like, yeah. But let's see. Get this in here. They're holding their point quite well, actually. Not shabby. Usually these pencils kind of flatten out. But like I said, it's weird. They're like not soft. They're just smooth. They're still a hard lead, but they're just smooth when they go on the paper. And don't change your mind. Oh, so I can't even change my mind. I feel like there's too many constraints. Basically, I get to it when I get to it. But that's better for you guys because honestly, if I forced content out just to meet a schedule or demand or something, it would not be, well, it would definitely feel and sound forced. Just because, yeah, I would be sitting there like, I don't want to do this. So that's why I try to make very few commitments. I mean, this month or July, I was hosting the Yana and July tag, but well, I kind of failed on that because, yeah, I just got bombarded with everything. So it happens. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Christine. My gosh, fridge and internet too. Yeah, July was not a good month. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love Tomislav Tomic. I've got both versions. Oh crap. One's Czech and what's the other version? Is it Dutch or something? Crap, I can't remember now. But is the now I'm confusing myself. Well, either way, I have both versions of the books. I remember once I was going to sit down and make a video on the differences between the two because there actually are some differences, but I never got around to it. The thought was there. I have not set up the command for memberships because I'm lazy. But if you just go to my channel's homepage, you'll see the join button on there. I'm so lazy to set up commands on this beautiful Nightbot. Basically, Nightbot, literally set up like what I'm working with a few seconds before and announcements. Like I literally set up my timers as I got up here and was like, okay, better put these in. And then that was it. So yeah. And I hadn't even picked out a book, so I couldn't put that in the link because, well, I forgot. But yeah, on my homepage, you'll see the join button. I need to make the commands. It's just, last time I tried, I had some issues. So my Nightbot, I'm pretty sure, is going on strike. He's got plans. Okay. Trying to stay in the lines. Haven't had much coffee today yet, although I could use it. Oh, because one of the dogs I'm boarding does not like to sleep at night in a crate. I'm like, well, sorry, dog. Can't go roaming. Should be there. I don't know. I'd have to look later. But yeah, it should be on the homepage. Unless YouTube moved everything around again. But I don't think they've done that recently. This is how long it takes to make wood grain colors. I probably could have done this way faster if I stuck to like 2. But I know I gotta be careful what I say about Nightbot. He's known to just stop working. Fine. I'm not gonna. Banger. Yeah. I know. I need to do that video. I had like a whole spiel printed out too that I wrote up comparing the two versions. And then I don't know why I didn't do it. It was, well, because I just didn't feel like it. So I need to find that little comparison chart. Yes, Nightbot has feelings. Hey, AI took my job, so I don't have much empathy for Nightbot feelings or any AI. Let's see. Yeah, it should be on the homepage right by my channel name, but okay. Ooh, I think that's part of the grass back there. It's gonna be darker because obviously it's just kind of a little piece here. Marco Renoir I used a while back, but they're kind of like not easy to get these days. I don't have them anymore though, so way back when I started coloring, those were ones I tried and I gave those away to a friend. Oh, on iPad, so one thing about YouTube on iPads, there's a lot of features that don't work and or show, like the community tab is a hit or miss. So just FYI if you're on an iPad. Like I can't even, it sucks because I have an iPad, but like if I want to make a community post, I have to break out my phone or get on my PC because I don't know why, but YouTube still hasn't fixed this issue. It's getting actually really frustrating. Because I don't need to travel with an iPad and a laptop. But like a lot of my designs and stuff are on my iPad, so I have to always keep them on the cloud because if I want to make a community post, well, gotta swap on over. So Nightbot is just a, I don't know the official word for it. I don't know the techie term, but it connects to your YouTube account. And when you go live, it is given permission to do what it's doing now, like leave chats. You can have it set up to do commands. You can have it play music. It runs my giveaways. You know, you can even have it set to like filter users or spam. So yeah, it's a little handy dandy tool. It's gotten better over the years. Like a long time ago, back when I was in my early 20s, we used to use Nightbot for like Twitch streaming, and that was not fun. Okay, actually, it was more like my late 20s, but yeah, regardless. Yeah, it's basically a personal assistant. It just kind of takes pressure off of mods too. Like, because otherwise my mods would be constantly linking what pencils I'm using today. And instead, Nightbot, I have him set to go off every so often and just let you know. And then, like with giveaways, you know, instead of me sitting there constantly repeating like the keyword to enter or doing it manually and having to pick a winner, Nightbot does it. What's better, an iPad or a laptop? Well, for me, both, but that's because it depends on what I'm doing. I'm actually not an Apple person. I am a PC user because I like to build my own computers. In fact, I'm rebuilding my tower next week. Woohoo! But yeah, I have an iPad because I wanted to do some art, and unfortunately, all the Android tablets out there just weren't as fun for art and whatnot. But yeah, that's really the only reason I have an iPad. If it wasn't like superior in certain things, I wouldn't have one. Oh, you found the button. Yes, Twitch was the streaming platform, although it's still big for like gaming, gaming and stuff, but just about everything else, it's kind of, yeah, gone away. So the join button shows on my mobile phone, but I do have a Samsung, so I don't know. It just depends on the phone and all that, but yes, on a browser it is on the homepage. But welcome, you found it. Trying to like hurry with this wood grain so this isn't all we watch. I know YouTube really is anti-Apple, aren't they? Because a lot of the features aren't available, which is odd. But then again, YouTube is Google, and Google does not like Apple, so there you go. Okay. Yes, we'll do this one just dark up here. Wow, has that already been almost 2 hours? Where does the day go? I haven't streamed in so long, I forgot how fast these can go sometimes. Okay. I want to use some of the other pretty colors as well, but this big old chair is in the way. Yeah, you would think, but I mean, again, YouTube is Google, and Google has enough money. They don't care. They're like, you'll find it eventually. It's fine. No, actually, these really aren't too bad. So, like I said, they're smooth laying down. I'm not getting any scratchiness or like icky resistance like I do with some budgety ones. So yeah, these are quite decent. In fact, what I'll do, since we're getting close to the end here, so I will go ahead and roll for the winner of the giveaway. Now, again, this is just the in-stream giveaway. So usual applies. This is not sponsored, endorsed, hosted, blah, 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 by YouTube or Kalour. I am solely hosting this giveaway. Unless Kalour decides to watch this, and I don't know when I respond to my emails. But you must be in the United States, because I did not see this particular set on the UK site, unfortunately. I looked for quite a while yesterday and couldn't find it. So you'll have to be able to receive shipments from Amazon US. You will need to have entered the word that Nightbot has kindly spammed you for the last hour and 45 minutes. But if you want to enter real quick, because you haven't, it's watercolor pencils, all one word. Don't put a space. Capitalization doesn't matter. And then what we'll do is I will roll it, and the winner will just need to email me today. Please make sure you email me today, otherwise it gets lost. So email me today, let me know that you were the winner, and I will work with you to get that shipped out to you. And then the rules for the entry for the second one I will post after the stream, and we'll do that differently. So if you don't win in the live stream, you can win at the one off stream, and then that also gives everyone an opportunity who missed the live stream to still enter, because like I said, there's quite a few people who are either eating dinner right now or asleep. So we want to make it fair. So 2 winners, and that's it. But all right, I am going to roll it. So let's see. And the winner is Deanna. Yes, so this one is only one. But like I look at my email address. Can't type. Okay. Okay, so Deanna, I put my email there. Did I even spell it right? I never know. Go ahead and shoot me an email, and then that way I can get you your pencils. And then after the stream, give me an hour or two because I need to sit down and just rest. I've been sitting down and coloring, but it's not resting. But I will get the off stream rules, so there will be a second chance to win, and then yeah, that'll be it. So just 2 winners total. And yeah. But hopefully, is Deanna still online? Because she does need to be in the stream to win, as I mentioned at the start of stream. Like, you still got to be here to claim your prize. So hopefully, because is Deanna still here? Oh, she confirmed. Okay, I must have missed it. It's like, where did it go? Oh, there she is. Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure because I've had it happen where they've like gone, and then I'm like, oh crap, I need to pick someone else. All right, perfect. So yes, email that address that is pinned to the screen today, and we'll work that out. But yeah, I think. Well, let me zoom out for you guys so you guys can see these colors here. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Come on, little thing. All right, so these actually aren't too shabby. Like say you compare, like, so here's some, this is Albrecht Dürer I did on this page. And then this is the Kalour. The wood grain's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. I may go back down here at the bottom and shade it a little darker with this, just kind of adding some shading to show the shadow of this monster pot, but they're actually not too bad. I'm impressed so far. I gotta finish obviously coloring this page with them. Perhaps that'll be something I'll do as a whip and chat or something. I don't know. It's hard to promise color alongs. Plus, I do color alongs and then no one watches them, so I'm like, so it's hard to promise, but or maybe I'll put it on my silent coloring channel. We'll see. But something will be done with this. I'll keep working on it some way, somehow. But yeah, so far these aren't bad, actually. I'll be probably getting the review out for this hopefully by Wednesday. If not, it'll be end of the week. But there will be a review for these no matter what this week. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll let you know about if I hear from Kalour ever, but probably not. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I am about to go walk 2 dogs in the heat. So, yeah, everyone take care. And until next time, bye.